Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Greater Tampa Bay Area Council's Fall Membership Kickoff. My name is Matt Comet, for those who don't know me, and I have the privilege of serving as the Council's Vice President of Membership. Thank you for taking time tonight to be here, and more importantly, thank you for the work that you are already doing in your units to serve youth and families across our council. Tonight is intended to be practical. These slides will be available on Greater Tampa Bay Area Council's recruitment resources page, so you do not need to write down every detail. I would encourage you, though, to take notes on items that apply directly to your unit. The goal is that every unit leader leaves tonight with a clearer plan, a stronger sense of urgency, and a few simple action steps that can be started right away. Fall recruitment is not just a council initiative. It is not just a district initiative. It is a unit level opportunity. Families do not join the council in the abstract. They join a pack, a troop, a crew, or a ship. They stay because someone welcomed them, communicated with them, helped them understand what scouting is, and made them feel like they belonged. That is really the theme for tonight. Uh, we are not just recruiting youth, we are welcoming families into scouting communities. Travis, you can go to the next slide. As we move into our goals and objectives, we want to keep the expectations clear, measurable, and easy to remember. The primary benchmark is simple. Every unit should achieve a minimum 15% membership increase over its end of year 2025 membership by November 15. That number matters because growth cannot be carried by only a handful of large units and cannot be carried by professional staff alone. Every unit has a role in growing scouting. For some units, 15% may mean recruiting 5 new families. For others, it may mean 15 or more. The units that are rebuilding, it may mean getting organized, holding intentional recruitment events, and creating a stronger system to welcome new families into the program. Our second goal is that every unit actively recruits through November 15. Fall recruitment is not a one-night effort. Families are busy, schedules conflict, and some families need more than one invitation before they take that next step. That is why units should continue recruiting throughout the fall and keep looking for opportunities to invite new families into scouting. Our third goal is that every unit holds at least 2 unit-led recruitment events outside of their unit's school night for scouting. One sign-up night is rarely enough. Unit-led events give families another opportunity to meet leaders, see scouts in action, ask questions, and begin picturing themselves as part of that unit's community. But recruitment alone is not enough. Our next goal is to ensure that every new family is welcomed through a clear Welcome to Scouting unit level onboarding program, led or supported by the unit's new member coordinator. New families should not have to figure scouting out on their own. From the beginning, they should know who to contact, when the next meeting is, how the unit communicates, what activities are coming up, and how parents can become part of that unit's community. We also want to promote high-quality district and unit activities that keep families engaged. Families are more likely to stay when they are quickly experience the values of scouting through organized, well-communicated, and meaningful activities. Those early experiences matter. And finally, we want to strengthen scouting through volunteer-led, professionally guided approach. Our professionals can help open doors, coordinate school access, provide resources, and support our recruitment process. But a family's first real impression of scouting usually comes from the unit. They are watching how organized we are, whether we follow up, whether their child is welcomed, and whether they can see the family fitting into the unit community. A strong fall recruitment campaign starts before the first sign-up night. Units that spend the summer preparing are better positioned to receive new families in the fall. That means calendars are ready, leadership roles are identified, communication is organized, welcome materials are prepared, and someone is assigned to guide new families after they register. Our goal is not just to recruit new scouts. Our goal is to welcome new families to scouting in a way that makes them want to stay. Travis, you can go to the next slide. Recruitment really can be summarized in 3 simple words: share, invite, and engage. First, we share the scouting story. We remind families that scouting gives young people opportunities to build confidence, character, friendship, leadership, resilience, and a sense of belonging. Second, we invite families to join. We do this through school night for scouting, unit-led recruitment efforts, community events, peer-to-peer invitations, social media open houses, and personal asks. Third, and most importantly, we engage families after they say yes. That third step is where retention begins. A family may join because of our sales pitch, but they stay because the experience feels organized, welcoming, and worth their time. We need to be honest with families early and help set realistic expectations. They may not be going hiking, camping, participating in shooting sports, or going on major adventures every week. Some weeks are meetings, others are for planning. Some weeks are for advancement, and some weeks are for service. But when families understand the rhythm of the program, they are much less likely to become frustrated or disappointed. At this time, I'll turn it over to Travis, who's going to spend a few minutes talking to us about the first pillar, I'll call it, share.
Hey everyone, Travis Emery here. I'm the Director of Field Service for the Greater Tampa Bay Area Council. Again, thank you all so much for taking your time out of your busy schedules to be with us tonight. So what Matt was talking about, the first pillar is to be able, step one is to share. More importantly, understanding that this is your unit. So it's not the council's unit, it's not my unit, it's your unit. We want to see scouting grow across the Greater Tampa Bay area, across the 9 counties that we serve. So let's talk about how you can be able to do that in a way to be able to share the good news of scouting. So first and foremost, QR codes is a great way to be able to utilize and make it easy for people to find you. So being able to pull up websites, web pages, or any other information that you guys care to share, there are plenty of online options to help families navigate, and it makes them go where you want them to go. So they get the right information. And so throughout this entire presentation, we will be using QR codes for you to be able to access. So be sure to have your smartphone ready to be able to view those. And here are just a few ways for you to be able to generate your own QR codes for your units, website, or any other place that you want the new families to be able to go and learn more about you and learn more about scouting. And of course, as we know, social media can be a great help. It's a great tool for each and every one of us. Many of us probably doom scroll on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, is to be able to utilize those to our benefit because that's where our families are. The families with the kids that we want them to be able to join. So we may complain about it, and often, especially how often our youth use it, but we can get the good news out of scouting to our families and to be able to plant the seeds of interest. As part of our Share, Invite, Engage initiative, this is a simple step that we can take to promote scouting across our many friends and family. And you can see there I have a couple of different examples where for unit meetings, you can maybe rename them as, learning about CPR, learning about bike maintenance, other safety trainings, and to be able to kind of engage the kids a little bit more through those things. So social media, please take advantage of it. And of course, we have the tangible items, yard signs, posters, flyers, all of the above. Really want to make sure that all of those things are true and tested methods to be able to pass on the good news of scouting across the 9 counties that we serve. With the flyers, we typically pass out over 150,000 flyers in the 9 counties that we serve. And for many of us that that do have school access, that's typically a great way to be able to get the news out. However, it's not the only way. And many of the posters that we have at the office and also the yard signs should be utilized more and more. For me, I would love to be able to see a joint scouting sign in front of everyone's house, as long as your HOA allows you to be able to do that for a time period. But I would love to be able to see them at different areas around town, that people know that we are alive and well. So be sure to work with your your scouting professional to be able to get those types of things, such as flyers, such as posters, and such as yard signs. Another great idea for you to be able to try is maybe talk to a local pizza place that delivers pizza that you can include a flyer. Maybe talk to someone that has an LED sign on their business that they would be willing to post join scouting information on that sign for a month, or maybe even talk to a local business or a mortgage company that would be willing to be able to include a welcome to your town flyer. Anytime that someone buys a home, and many of us have probably been in this same situation, we've probably gotten plenty of information from Lowe's, Home Depot. Everyone knows that you just bought a house, so that'd be a fun way to be able to include that as well. So definitely some new ideas and try to find new things to be able to use. As for the recruitment resources, we see some great information going into the chat, so I keep asking those questions. So you can see here we've got our first QR code to be able to use. So the Greater Tampa Bay Area Council has a recruitment resources for all of you to be able to utilize. Everything from flyers to a playbook to bookmarks to be able to download your own things. And then this is where this training is going to be uploaded for you to be able to refer back to. So utilize the local resources that we have. And of course, the national office has plenty of resources for you to use too. And you can see here, we have videos from David Montgomery, who is an NFL player and Eagle Scout. Hopefully, if you're a sports fan, you've been able to see him on occasion. Also, we have our Sheriff Grady Judd. He did videos for us as well, encouraging the youth to be able to join scouting. So take a look at that, see what's available to you for your unit. And then if you do have ideas or any recommendations of things that we might be missing, be sure to let us know, and we're happy to be able to add those to make everyone have a successful fall recruitment. And you can see here, this is mostly from our national office, but if you go to the brand center, Scouting America offers a variety of things to download, especially with the Adventure On tagline. It's a great way for you to be able to print your own things, such as bookmarks, flyers. However, do understand that the Greater Tampa Bay Area Council will be providing flyers that are bilingual and also for different groups, so Cub Scouts and also the older youth programs, Scouts BSA, Sea Scout Ships Venturing. We will have plenty of flyers for you to be able to utilize, but feel free to download and check out the brand center and see what's there. Great resource. And then geofencing. For those of you that are not familiar with geofencing, it's as if you were sitting in the parking lot of Walmart and you were scrolling on your phone on social media, and lo and behold, a Walmart ad pops up on your phone while you're scrolling. So, as weird as it sounds and as crazy as it is, they've been tracking it and being able to put kind of a barrier around the Walmart parking lot so that Walmart wants you to see their advertisements. And that goes for a lot of different companies to be able to see, for them to see what you want them to, or for you want to see. So with that, there's a great way. We're going to be doing it on a council level. We're going to be geofencing our areas, localized areas such as ballparks, sports complexes, schools, other recruitment areas, churches, to be able to make sure that people, as they're scrolling and sitting in car line or sitting at the ballpark, they're going to be able to see our advertisements and see that scouting is near them. And you're welcome to be able to include that for your own recruitment. So as you create recruitments, as we get schools scheduled, and as you schedule all those things out, we'll be able to highlight those specific recruitment events for people to be able to notice, especially the families that we want to be able to do and focus on. So if we're using this QR code, we created a website that as soon as you get something scheduled, you can submit it and anyone can find it. So if they're in a specific county, and let's say they can't come back to the school that you recruited at, you can that person can go in, and if it's in Polk County, they can be able to view all the different recruitment opportunities there in Polk County. So that's what this website's for, is for you to be able to use as you continue to schedule out all of your recruitments there. So be sure to take advantage of that. And last but not least, this is something that we've been trying to do more and more. At the council office, we have purchased a variety of items for you to be able to use for recruitment purposes because we want people to experience some of the small things that we do in scouting, such as a gaga ball pit, or if it's a little bit of fishing, or being able to do a rain gutter regatta. We have those items at the office for you to be able to check out and use. Um, and of course, work with your scouting professional to be able to coordinate that. But it's a great way to be able to bring families in and be able to have a good time while you discuss and share the good news of scouting with the families and with the adults while the kids are having fun. So be sure to make note of that. And then as I wrap up this first pillar here of of sharing, these are some things that I would encourage and challenge all of you to do, and individually and also with your unit, is to be able to share an upcoming activity or a photo on social media about what you did, or maybe a past camp out, something that was fun and exciting that your friends and family would be able to see and celebrate with you. Another one is to be able to place at least 3 scout yard signs in different locations, whether it's your house, at a park, or whatever. Obviously, I want you to make sure that you're doing it legally. If you can get permission to be able to do that, go for it. The more signs we have out there, the more market we can get, the more people are going to be aware that scouting is alive and well. And then last but not least, really need your help on a professional level to schedule and lead school or some type of a sign up night. So be in constant communication with your scouting professional, work with your unit commissioners, work with your membership folks and your new member coordinator so that you can have a successful recruitment season. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the time back over to Matt. Matt, and I think your camera is off, my friend. I don't know if you wanted to have it off or not.
Yeah, I know. I turn it off because it gets glitchy sometimes due to
Okay,
the distance of the Wi-Fi. All
fair
right.
enough.
This section focuses on invite, but I want to be clear from the beginning. Inviting a family to join is not just about getting them to complete an application. It is about making sure that the unit is prepared to receive them well. A strong invitation may get a family to attend a recruitment event. A strong unit experience is what helps keep that family welcomed, connected, and ready to stay. Travis, next slide, please. That is why the new member coordinator position is so important. Every unit should identify someone who is committed to growing scouting, but also understands that growth does not stop at registration. The new member coordinator serves as the bridge between recruitment and retention. This person helps make sure new families do not feel lost after this sign-up night. They answer questions, introduce parents to unit leaders, explain the calendar, and help families understand uniforms, dues, meetings, outings, advancement, expectations, and next steps. Just as importantly, the new member coordinator helps realign expectations after the sales pitch. Families are often attracted to scouting because of the adventure. They hear about camping, hiking, Pinewood Derby, summer camps, friendships, and life-changing experiences. All of that is real, but scouting also takes time to understand. The first meeting may not look like the brochure. The first few weeks may feel unfamiliar. New families may not immediately understand the language, structure, traditions, or the rhythm of the program or your unit. That is why someone has to walk with them early and often. The new member coordinator helps share the benefits of scouting, coordinates unit recruitment, and guides new families through the scouting, joining, and welcoming process. Every unit should think seriously about identifying 1 or 2 people who can serve in this role. This does not have to be the Cub Master, Scout Master, committee chair, or the person who already does everything else in the unit. In fact, it probably shouldn't be. This role is too important to simply add someone who is already overwhelmed. The best new member coordinator is often someone who is friendly, organized, approachable, and willing to talk with new families. They do not need to know every answer. They just need to know how to connect families with the right person. This position also helps us shift the way we think about recruitment. We are not just signing up a youth member. We are welcoming an entire family into the unit's community. Parents need to feel welcome, not just informed. They need to be introduced, not just handed paperwork. They need to understand where they fit and how they can become a part of the scouting experience. When families leave early, it is often not because they rejected the mission of scouting. It is because they never felt connected to the unit. They did not know what was happening next. They did not know who to ask. They did not understand the expectations. Or they attended one or two disorganized meetings and decided the program wasn't worth their time. That is all preventable. A strong new member coordinator helps make sure new families are welcomed, informed, connected, and supported from the beginning. Travis, next slide, please. We are volunteer-led and professionally guided, and that is especially important during fall recruitment. Scheduling unit-led recruitment events is a must, but the event itself is only one part of the process. A successful recruitment effort starts well before families walk through the door. In most schools, administrators are back in the office by mid-July, if not earlier. That means units should begin working with their district executive at that time to schedule recruitment dates, request school access, and confirm promotional opportunities will be available. Waiting till August or September often puts units behind. By the time recruitment season begins, each unit should be ready with three things: a basic calendar, a welcome plan, and clear answers to the questions new families are going to ask. When do they meet? Where do we go? How much does it cost? What does my child need? Who do I contact? What is expected of parents? And most importantly, what happens next? This preparation directly supports retention. Families that leave early often cite things like disorganized meetings, poor communication, lack of engagement, or uncertainty about what they joined. In fact, that percentage is like in the mid-70s is the top reasons that are cited as to why families leave our program within the first year. Those are issues we can address before the recruitment event ever happens. About 7 to 14 days before the recruitment event, the event should be geofenced on Facebook and boosted to families who match the target audience. That digital promotion is important, but it becomes much stronger when paired with peer-to-peer recruiting. Units should encourage current families, leaders, and scouts to personally share the event, invite friends, and spread the word through their own networks. A council post may reach families, but an invitation from a friend, neighbor, classmate, or trusted parent often carries more weight. About 7 to 10 days before the event, a digital or physical flyer should go home with the students, and signs should be placed at the school when permitted. This keeps the invitation visible and consistent. Then 1 to 2 days before the recruitment event, a district executive or trained volunteer should conduct a school talk, classroom visit, or other rally if the school allows it. When permitted, flyers should also be distributed to students that day. That gives youth a personal invitation close enough to the event that they can go home excited and remind their parents. Finally, the recruitment event is held at a school or other location with the unit's new member coordinator, unit leader, and youth present. This is where the invitation becomes personal. Families need to meet the people they will see again, interact with scouts, ask questions, and begin forming that connection with the unit. A strong recruitment plan does more than bring families to a sign-up night. It helps the unit make a strong first impression, welcome families into the program, and begin building the connection that makes them want to stay. Travis, next slide, please. These recruitment crates are designed to help your unit run a successful recruitment event. Once your recruitment date is scheduled, contact your district executive to make sure your unit has the materials it needs. But remember, the crate is just a tool. It's not the plan. The real plan is what your unit does before, during, and after the event. Who will greet the families when they arrive? Who will engage the youth? Who will explain the calendar, activities, and costs? Who will answer parent questions? Who will help with applications? And who will follow up the next day? That is where recruitment becomes retention. Recruitment gets families in the door. Retention begins when they feel like someone is waiting for them. A well-run sign-up night should feel welcoming, organized, and simple. Families should not feel like they walked into a private club where everyone already knows the rules. They should feel expected, welcomed, and invited into something meaningful. Next slide, Travis, please. At a recruitment event, accurate information is essential. Communication and follow-up only work if we capture the right information at the beginning. That is why the QR code matters. Visiting families should be asked to scan the QR code when they arrive, complete the form, and receive the parent's guide to scouting. That guide helps explain the program in a way that is simple, clear, and easy for new families to understand. I would encourage each unit to take the same approach during recruitment, and that is keep it simple. This is an idea where recruitment events can sometimes get off track. Well-intentioned leaders may try to explain everything at once, every campout, every advancement requirement, every uniform detail, every fee, or every tradition. But a brand new family does not need everything on night one. They need enough information to feel comfortable saying yes. They need to understand what scouting is, what happens next, and who will help them out along the way. This is another place where the new member coordinator becomes especially valuable. Recruitment night does not have to answer every question. Its purpose is to start relationships. The new member coordinator can continue the conversation over the first few weeks, answer questions as they come up, and make sure each new family feels welcome, supported, and connected. Next slide. This slide gives us a practical example of what a strong recruitment event or open house should look like. The first priority is making the event easy to find and easy to enter. Use yard signs near the parking lot, sidewalks, and entrance doors so families know exactly where to go. Simple signs like enter here, meeting in cafeteria, or sign in here helps remove confusion before families even walk into the room. Next, make sure families are personally welcome. Have scouts, leaders, or parents stationed at the doors to greet families, answer basic questions, and point them in the right direction. That first welcome matters. Families should feel expected, not like they accidentally walked into a closed meeting. The room itself should feel approachable. Full uniforms are important, but it can also help to have a mix of uniforms and uniform shirts. That makes the environment feel more relaxed and help families see both the tradition of scouting and the personality of the unit. Check-in is also important. A QR code sign-in sheet is preferred because it helps us capture contact information quickly and accurately on a platform that most of today's parents are comfortable using. But whether you use a QR code, a paper sign-in sheet, or both, make sure you know who attended and how to follow up with them afterwards. The program should be simple, active, and youth-focused. Hands-on activities are much more effective than long speeches. Let youth experience something fun. Let parents hear something basic. That gives everyone clear next steps. For PACs that already have a relationship with the troop, this is also a good opportunity to invite troop leadership and scouts to attend the recruitment night, especially to connect with fifth graders and Arrow-like families who may be in attendance. Those relationships help families see the larger scouting pathway and begin thinking about the next steps before the crossover season has even arrived. The event should start on time, stay on task, and be kept simple. 30 minutes is usually enough. Families are busy, and we want them to leave excited, not overwhelmed. Finally, be clear about joining incentives. If something is available for families who sign up that night, say it directly. If you sign up tonight, you'll receive whatever it is. Incentives can help create momentum, but the bigger point is this: credit them that night. They showed up for a reason. Our job is to welcome them, answer their questions, help them see themselves in a unit, and make the next step as easy as possible. Next slide. We have some great joining incentives this year, including the whistle, water bottle, free fall activities, and Cub Scout specific welcome packet. Those incentives are helpful because they create excitement and give families another reason to take action that night. But the larger point is this: we need to move away from letting interested families leave without joining. They came to your recruitment event for a reason. Maybe their child came home excited about a scout talk. Maybe another family invited them. Maybe they saw a flyer, a yard sign, or a social media post. Maybe they are simply looking for something positive for their child or their family. Whatever brought them, they showed up. and our job is to help them take that next step that night. When we tell families that they can register later, we often lose momentum. In many cases, allowing families to leave and register later can result in losing half or more of those youth. It also shortens the window we have to integrate the family into the unit's community. Instead of having several meetings or events to help them feel connected, we may only get one opportunity before they decide whether scouting is worth their time. That is why the registration process needs to be clear, simple, and ready at the event. We should be able to say, we're glad you're here. Here's what happens next. If you join tonight, you will receive. That explains the incentive and helps them complete the process. There are a few important things to remember about online and paper applications. Online registration is convenient, and for some families, it may be required. For example, youth from eligible military-connected families must use the online registration system if they want to take advantage of the National Membership Fee Waiver Program. And Klarna, buy now, pay later option is also only available through online applications. At the same time, online registration can become an easy excuse to do it later. For families who are ready to join and do not need one of those online only options, paper applications may still be the best way to complete the registration that evening and keep the family connected while their interest is high. Families sign their children up for soccer, baseball, dance, martial arts, and other activities with limited information all the time. They are willing to make decisions when the value is clear and a process is simple. That means we need to be clear, confident, and organized. We should not pressure families, but we also should not create unnecessary hesitation. The message should be simple. We are glad you're here. We would love to have your family join us. Let's get you registered tonight so your child can start participating right away. Next slide. The new Cub Scout Welcome Kit is another tool we are using to create immediate engagement with our newest Cub Scout families. The kit is being provided to all new Cub Scouts who register, and it is designed to do more than simply give them something to take home. It helps create excitement right away, gives the youth a visible connection to scouting, and encourages peer-to-peer recruiting from the very beginning. The kit includes a 4-inch magnet, a 4-inch sticker, and a 32-page special edition of the Scouts Life mini magazine, and a card with a QR code that links to a welcome message and information about how the new Cub Scout can earn the recruiter patch. That recruiter piece is important. We want new Cub Scouts to feel proud that they joined, and we want them to invite their friends, classmates, neighbors, and teammates to join with them. Peer-to-peer recruiting is powerful because youth listen to other youth, and families are often more comfortable responding to an invitation from someone they already know. For Cub Scout families, immediate engagement is especially important, particularly at the Lion and Tiger levels. Lions and Tigers have some of the lowest retention rates among Cub Scout ranks, which means those first experiences matter even more. These families are entering scouting early, but they may also be deciding whether the program fits into their lives. New Cub Scout families may not understand the difference between a den meeting, a pack meeting, a camp out, or a district activity. They may not know what advancement means, what the uniform should look like, or whether parents stay at meetings, or what they are expected to do next. We cannot assume they know. We have to teach them, welcome them, and help them feel comfortable. And that, again, is where the new member coordinator and a unit's onboarding plan becomes so important. The first 30 to 90 days matter. That is when families decide whether scouting fits into their lives. The welcome kit helps create that first spark, but the unit has to turn that spark into connection, belonging, and continued participation. Next slide. Speaking of activities, we are fortunate to have strong relationships with many community partners throughout the Tampa Bay area, including several sports organizations. Whether through recent or upcoming Scout days with partners like the Tampa Tarpons or Lakeland Tigers, these opportunities help families experience scouting beyond a regular meeting night. These activities matter because they support both recruitment and retention. Families need early wins. They need moments when where a child says, "That was fun, I want to go back." That early excitement helps confirm for families that joining scouting was the right decision. And it's not just sports. If the family is not interested in sporting events, there are still plenty of other opportunities to keep them engaged, including STEM and NOVA events, Cub activity days at our camps, district activities, unit events, and other council programs. The key is to connect new families to something fun and meaningful as soon as possible. As a unit begins planning for the year, make sure you have these three calendars in front of you: a blank planning calendar, a school calendar, and a council calendar. Use those calendars together to build a unit plan that avoids major conflicts. Include strong district and council activities, and gives families something to look forward to early in the fall. Another important incentive this year is that our Cub Adventure events this fall are free and new for new scouts who join. That gives units another way to encourage families to register and stay engaged. It also gives new families an immediate opportunity to participate in a fun scouting activity without adding another cost right away. This is also where we need to help families understand the full rhythm of scouting. Families may join because they're excited about big adventures, but not every week will be a major outing. Some weeks are meetings, some weeks are planning. Some weeks are advancement, service, or preparation for the next activity. But every meeting activity should feel purposeful, organized, and connected to the larger scouting experience. Next slide. This slide focuses on one of the most important parts of recruitment, the follow-up. A successful recruitment event does not end when families leave the room. In many ways, it's when the real retention work begins. Families need to hear from us quickly, clearly, and more than once. At the unit level, the first priority is to collect applications as families say yes. Do not wait till the end of the night if a family is ready to join. Help them take the next step while their interest is high. For families who are still undecided, follow-up is just as important. Send a thank you message after the event, and then call, text, or email the maybes. Invite them to the next unit meeting, activity, or event. Sometimes families need more than one invitation before they commit. In fact, it can take up to 7 invitations for a family to make that decision. So the message here is simple: keep asking. For families that do register, the unit should send a welcome message right away. That message should help them know what happens next, who the point of contact is, when the next meeting will be, and how they can begin becoming a part of that unit's community. This is another important place for the new member coordinator to be involved. The unit also needs to make sure all completed applications and payments are turned in quickly to the service center or to the unit's scout district executive. Delayed applications lead to delayed communication, and the delayed communication causes families to drift before they ever get fully connected. Next slide. Now it is your turn. This slide gives every unit 3 simple action steps in the invite category. First, invite a family or friend who attends an upcoming activity. This is one of the easiest and most effective ways to introduce new families to scouting. It does not always have to start with a formal recruitment night. Sometimes the best invitation is simple: come join us for this activity and see what scouting is all about. Peer-to-peer invitations from families, friends, classmates, and neighbors often feel more personal and more trusted than a flyer or social media post. Second, invite a member of your local school administration to attend a unit activity. This could be the Pinewood Derby, a Blue and Gold banquet, Court of Honor, a service project, or PAC meeting or treat meeting, or any other meaningful event. When school administrators see the quality of the program firsthand, they better understand the value scouting brings to their students and their families. Those relationships can make the difference when we try to schedule recruitment events, distribute flyers, conduct scout talks, or maintain access to schools. Third, every unit should participate in at least 2 unit-led recruitment events. School nights for scouting are important, but it should not be the only opportunity families have to connect with your unit. Families are busy, schedules conflict, and some families need multiple invitations before they are ready to commit. The goal is not simply to hold an event. The goal is to help new families see themselves as part of a unit community and give them a reason to come back. Next slide. In closing, I'm sorry, and now I'll turn it over to Chris, who will lead us through the third pillar or third segment, engaged. Hopefully, if he's here.
I'm here.
Excellent.
Are you
Perfect.
kidding me? I have to engage you people. You think I'm going to not miss this? All right, so I want to go ahead and go over the engagement part of it because one thing about recruiting is you didn't just recruit a scout, you recruit the family. Because if they showed up to the scouting event, they have in fact convinced their parents to be there. So now when we do the events, we have to kind of somewhat recruit the families because otherwise the scouts wouldn't be there. So it's taking it to the next level. Next slide. So let's talk about being the hero. So one thing that I noticed, and that's let's how do we get the parents involved? How do we get the other leaders involved? The parent that maybe sits off to the side that wants to get involved but doesn't know. So of course you have to ask. So one thing that you want to be able to do is let's engage the parents by simply doing the ask. Maybe it's a simple activity or so, but more importantly, let's give them to the tools to lead. So sometimes it's one of those things, and we all have the knots on our uniforms. Those knots on the uniforms, as the season leader, that showed an example, and I would always use that from my kids. Those knots were achievements that I did, and I was recognized for providing a service to other youth within my unit. So each one of those knots, but it could be something as simple. You've asked a parent to uh, take on a small task and you reward them. And I know that every one of us has probably got a stash of patches hiding somewhere, probably from 2, 3, 4 years ago or whatever. Maybe it's a generic patch because eBay's got a bunch of just generic patches for cheap. But it's just some sort of item to recognize in public. Thank you for your assistance. Thank you for what you do. If it's kind of showing the example that we appreciate the other leaders and the families going in there in front of their children so they understand, wow, my dad's being recognized for this, or my mom. Maybe to encourage them to come to more meetings and get even more involved. So that's kind of the key here, is that to kind of show that image that we do absolutely appreciate every adult that comes in there, every new family member, everybody that comes in there. And it could be a simple what was it, back in the day we used to give the 10,000 grand candy bar that you're worth 10,000 grand, and you handed them the candy bar, something like that, just to say a thank you. And sometimes that if we're lucky, those new parents will turn into that nice khaki uniform that we all wear and kind of move forward with it. Next slide. So do you want or do you need more parent involvement? So I can almost best guess that if you're part of a unit, there's no such thing as not enough leaders, period. More importantly, when we start rolling into this recruiting season, the more volunteers and more parents, the better. Because most of us have units that have multiple schools, and sometimes they fall on the same night. So you may have to have a representative at each school show up, so you have that more involvement with the parents, then you'll be able to kind of spread yourself out instead of having to stress it and all that. um, and of course, the more parents that you go to the recruiting events, they will bring their scouts, and if the scouts is at the recruiting event, they're showing that example and why they're being there. And the parents are able to explain to hopefully the newer parents what exactly we're doing in the program. Um, so many units don't have all the roles that are filled in most of the units, and I'm pretty sure we can all attest to this, that we probably wear way too many hats sometimes. But let's spread the wealth a little bit, especially when it starts getting into the new time of year when we're getting new scouts or new recruiting. We're going to get an influx of a lot more scouts. We're going to need those leaders right up front. So like if you have 45 scouts, on average, what is it? That's about 6 to 7 additional leaders if you add 45 scouts to your program. Now imagine if it's 90 scouts and you only have 6 leaders. We're really starting to stretch it thin. So the idea is try to get the new parents involved at the very beginning. Like I said, when you go to the recruiting and they've shown up, we sold the scouts. Now we have to sell the parent, but now we kind of just a little bit of an inch to get that parent involvement to help them become kind of make our units even more stronger than they already are. And that's the key. And the key is also being consistent with we're not just recruiting youth, we're recruiting the adults as well. We want them as new leaders. So we want to engage them and recognize them. Next slide. So we probably all see this, and I'll have to tell you, this little form right here, the talent survey, that's kind of how it sucked me into scouting. When I first, my son first brought his little piece of paper from school talking about joining scouts, my wife told me that it would be a good father-son bonding experience, which was 100% true, except it somewhat turned into a family ordeal right from the get-go. But my first meeting after the recruitment for the school, they handed me this piece of paper to fill out, which of course I filled it out as honest as possible. By the next meeting, I was actually a new leader, a Tiger Den leader. And one of the things I want to kind of stress to you that we want to engage the leader, we want to recruit new leaders, is make sure that the new leader has the clear understanding that they're not on your own, that there's a support team, there's people to support you, there's information. We talked about the QR codes to find additional information. We want to make sure that if we're going to recruit that leader, we want to make sure that we as seasoned leaders in the unit provide them the support they're going to need, because they may be very green. They may have never heard about scouting before. Well, we want to make sure we give them the tools to make the unit stronger. Take a little extra time, do the form. I know I did it and it sucked me in bad, so I drank the juice and here I am. But you can actually go online, and I'm sure there's a QR code with the resources. If you do not have a talent survey form, go right ahead and get it. But remember, the parents that are in back of the room, the ones that are on their phones, they may be your strongest ally when you need additional leaders. So don't feel bad by going up to them, hey, can you help do a little project here, or hand them the form and hopefully they'll fill it out. Engage them, recognize them, show them that they're important. More importantly, do recognize and pat them on the back in front of their youth, so they know the youth is like, wow, my dad he's now involved, and look at this. It's going to encourage them to keep coming back more and more. Next slide. So one thing you want to do is try to identify a couple of leaders. More importantly, the new member coordinator. That new member coordinator, I want to just take a minute on that if I can. That if you do not have one in your unit, you can have multiple ones. I just don't believe you can officially make that in Scout Book. But that doesn't mean that you can't have multiples. So one thing is that there is a push for the multilingual Spanish speaking and all that. In my unit, I had a new member coordinator and she was fluent in Spanish. So she was helping guiding the parents on how the program was going. The youth knew English. We didn't have a problem there, but the parents were lost. So she would sit at the table and she would engage them with Spanish dialogue so they understood exactly what was going into the program. More importantly, they were somewhat not in uniform. They did have the t-shirts on and the polo shirts that kind of show that welcoming, I can be approached. And also, one thing that you really want to do is you want to have that parent orientation or new leader orientation, or a combination of both. You want to do that as quick as possible, because when you have those new leaders and new families coming in, a lot of them that are coming in as first graders, kindergarten, or maybe they've never even been in scouting whatsoever before, they're going to be lost. And the one thing that you want to do is ease all that stress that may come along with it, and explain the program, break the program up, answer all questions that you possibly can do. Okay. And also you want to make sure that you go into one of the scout activities. As it was brought up before, there's many of them that are pre-packaged up that are specific for new families, but that doesn't mean you can't do one on your own. We typically do a parent orientation, and then maybe a week later, we're doing a fishing trip. We're going to one of these areas around the Plant City Temple Terrace area, and we're doing a fishing trip. We're immediately engaging them, and as soon as that kindergarten and first grader catches his first fish, and mom and dad see how excited they are, they're going to be more willing to be more engaged to get involved. So it's just keep it simple. Let's identify a handful of leaders. Let's provide them with orientation and training, and let's go ahead and hit them off good with a good activity moving forward. And I think that completed my portion. And here's Travis, I don't know if you're taking it from here, but I can keep going with it. There's many types of resources available, QR codes. Take it, Travis.
Matt was gonna finish this out.
All right, finish this out.
Yeah, well, there are some resources for the Adventure On kind of campaign material that's available on the national website through the Brand Center or on our council website or the QR code right there that you guys can utilize now or later when you're reviewing a recording to access that literature. It's a great starting point for you to develop some additional recruiting material for you. Next slide. Up. There's some more recruitment resources. Next slide.
I can take these, Matt.
Okay, yeah, I don't have that.
No,
Sorry.
you're good. So just as a thing that you can do as a unit leader or as a parent right now is to be able to work with your unit. Some immediate things to do is publish and promote an activity calendar. Always be able to have something at least that has 90 days worth of activities that you can hand to a new family or a prospective family. Other thing is we are going to be doing this, especially over the summertime, is being sure to update your beascout.org pin. About 88% of our units have updated information. I just got a notification from the national office this week. So that means that we've got a lot of units out there that have the wrong information when families are out trying to look for you. So be sure to go in. It's easy to do. Turn on your online application button to make sure that families can just go ahead and hop on. But take advantage of that. It's a great resource, but update your beascout.org pin. Other thing that you could be doing out in the community is conducting a service project at a school, park, or organization. We need to be seen more. That's always something that every time I'm out in the community, people always tell me, "Oh my gosh, you guys are still around?" Absolutely. You know, we're 10,000 strong in the Greater Tampa Bay Area Council. We need to be able to make sure people know that. So find those opportunities, whether it's a service project, whether it's a parade, whether it's a flag ceremony at a Rotary Club. Look for opportunities for your unit to be able to be out in the community for people to be able to see you. And last but not least, be sure to take scouting to the people. We talked about that we have those inflatable activities at the office for you to be able to check out the Gaga Ball pit, um, the different activities that we have. Be sure to reach out to your scouting professional, coordinate those efforts. But if you have activities that your unit does a really good job with, take it to the people, take it to those. Find a way for you to be able to have a kid zone at a festival or have a table there to be able to showcase what scouting is all about. People need to see us, and we shouldn't be hiding. So these are some great to-dos for you to be able to take advantage of. Close out here. Just remember, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Share, invite, and engage. There are 3 easy things for you to remember as you go out into the summer. I know many of our troops are going to scout camp. Many of our packs are going to day camp. Not a lot of us are meeting, but look for those opportunities to share the good news of scouting. There's going to be a lot of great things that you're doing this summer. Record it, take pictures of it, share it, and then be sure to invite your friends and family to be a part of it, and then engage the family as a whole to be able to participate in scouting. Scouting is a whole family opportunity, and everyone should have an opportunity to be able to join. Chris, you had something else to add?
Yeah, I would. Being the Fort Brooke membership chair, I just wanted to give this feedback to everybody on the meeting, especially if you're one of the key 3 or plus 3s, is I did this at a round table a few weeks ago, and that was, when do we start recruiting? And the answer was, we recruit year round. But the follow-up question was, how come you haven't reached out to your lead that you receive? So it's very important that you update the pin and the information on the website. But when you get that email about you have a potential lead coming in, make sure you follow up with that people, because I've sent emails out with leads, and they say, well, we don't want to recruit until August. So someone's interested in scouting and you pretty much left them alone and you forgot about them for 2 or 3 months. I mean, that's not a good impression. So just do us all a favor, at least reach out to them. If you have a summertime program, invite them to go to it. That is an activity. Give them a soft start in the scouting. And I've done this. We started doing it last year, and those scouts that did the soft opening have stuck and they're with us, and I have leaders out of it. So just a little bit of feedback on those. Please pay attention to your leads when they come in.
Definitely. And so, of course, teamwork makes the dream work. I want everyone to be able to take this away and be able to see how can you grow scouting in your unit? What does that look like? How many families does that take? How many things do you need to do now to be able to prepare yourself to make sure that you're going to be successful and to be able to grow scouting in all that you do? All right. So that is the end of our presentation. We, of course, wanted to keep it to under an hour. Any questions you may have, you can go ahead and throw them in the chat. I'm going to be hanging out for a little bit to be able to help answer those. So feel free to type away in the chat box there. And if you don't have any more questions about anything that we talked about, you are welcome to leave. And thank you all so much for being a part of it. Matt, did you have anything else?
No, that was it. Thank you guys for all that you do within your units and supporting of our movement. And I'm looking forward to a great fall recruiting season. If there's anything we can do to help support you guys, definitely don't hesitate to reach out.
Yep. And be on the lookout for more information, activities, that type of thing. We'll be sending out more information, but thank you all. Yes, this information will be emailed out. Yeah, the joining incentives are going to be the same things along with the Cub Scout um, welcome back packet that has the magnet, the sticker. We really had a lot of great feedback about families enjoying something that they can use when they first go into Scouts. So when they go to their first unit meeting, that whistle, the 7-in-1 whistle and the water bottle. So Michelle, if you want to put in the chat what county you live in, that would help out a lot, and what unit you're with. Perfect. So Lincoln Allen is going to be your scouting professional.
Is that Lincoln.Allen at scouting.org?
Yep. Lincoln.allen@scouting.org. Let me throw it in there.
Hey, Travis, can I throw something else out here so we still have a decent audience?
Yeah, we got 21 people.
It's just another idea to kind of throw out there when they're doing their recruiting season, especially more importantly when we're going to the schools and doing the recruiting. And that is when the recruiting is scheduled, please have a representative there to speak about your unit. When if I go in and do a generic roundup or anything like that, I speak in very generic terms, opposed to if it's you speaking about your unit, you're recruiting your school for your people, you can go into details and tell them exactly this is how we do our unit, here's our yearly calendar, and so on. So it's important that if we're trying to set you guys up to do your own recruiting, let the professionals do the school talks and set up the schools, and then recruiting comes up, we back you guys up when needed. But I'm thinking if we can handle our own, that would be the best way to do it. If anyone has any questions, you can reach out to any one of us. If that makes sense.
It does. Yeah, for us as professionals, the counties that we do have school access, we really do have great relationships with our schools. And so if you do have a school that your kids go to, or if you do have a connection there, be sure to reach out to your scouting professional first, just to make sure that you double check if they've already scheduled a school talk. Then you want to be able to coordinate together. So we don't want to work against each other. Got to stay organized. I think somewhere around there it says be prepared, something like that.
Okay, I just want to make sure I clarify. That's not really, it's more like when we do the actual recruiting, that is have that representative.
Yeah,
By no means I'm trying to imply stepping on toes or doubling up on anything. Just so that I was clear on that.
no, you're good, Chris. I got you. So yeah, just making sure that we're just coordinating, and we love having unit leaders at recruitments. We need them there. You know, especially if you have a kid that's going to that school specifically. And if you don't have school access, there's a lot of different things that we're working through. We're working on homeschool co-ops and groups, libraries, parks and rec departments. We've had some great conversations in Pinellas County with them. Um, all of those things that we're working through and having really good traction with it. So if you don't have school access, that's okay. We've got a lot of things outside the box ideas we're working on right now, and uh, try to grow scouting where we can. That's good stuff. All right. Well, I think there's 20 people, unless people just fell asleep while we were talking. Unless we must have done a real good job.
Can I share one thing with you?
Who do we got?
Oh, he doesn't know who the voice is.
Go ahead.
I have the key 3 for my
Oh,
ship.
there's James. There's James.
I have my key 3 for the ship and 4 kids.
Great job, man. Great job.
See you in the morning.
See you
Goodbye.
in the morning.
There we go.